Don't get your feelings hurt. Read this.
Hello there.
Hello?
Oh, hi. You're here too.
Oh, I messed it up.
Oh,
Dang.
neat.
That's
Welcome
you.
to Short Film Roundup.
Thank you for the validation.
That was great.
You're welcome.
Thank
That
you.
was fantastic.
And
Thanks.
yeah, your mom.
Thanks.
Your mom?
I know.
Short Film Roundup, the only place in the Pluriverse where you can watch
Multiverse.
3, what are we? Cursed filmmakers reviewing your short films.
Yes.
Yep, my name is Taylor.
Yes, it is. So let's get started.
Very good, Taylor.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you.
good.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes.
for the validation again.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
My name's Dee, by the way.
Oh,
Good job, D.
Yeah, you're welcome. Today we're talking about a film from...
Kenny.
Good work, Kenny.
I'm Kenny.
Good work, Kenny.
Kenny.
This is a film directed by...
Christonikos Tsalikis.
Sure.
Christonikos Tsalikis.
Okay. Well, let's talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kenny.
Yes.
Why don't you get us started?
Sure.
All right.
Okay. So start with the positives here.
Oh, sorry. This movie's called I Am Here.
If you haven't seen it yet, click the link below and watch it quick because we're starting now.
Continue.
All right. You managed to tell a story in about 25 minutes that actually merited the 25-minute length. That's pretty unheard of, actually,
It's
in the
very
short
unheard of.
films that are sent to us.
Yeah.
I actually became aware of that about a third of the way in. I was like, this pacing actually feels right
It's
for a
actually
20,
good. Yeah.
25-minute movie.
Yeah.
We get many 20-minute and up movies. A lot of them. And most of them should be 5-minute movies.
Yeah, some of them are.
There's
like
a
that.
lot of fat to trim.
This one actually wouldn't be. It'd actually be very confusing if a lot of it was trimmed.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was lean.
It was great.
It's a lean movie.
Yeah.
And they had a very original concept, and a lot of the production was pulled off pretty well. Now we can nitpick into some, the dialogue wasn't always super strong. Performances were okay. The biggest technical nitpick I have is the lighting.
Yeah.
I feel like
There's a lot of
this is
spotlights.
inexperienced lighting. This is what I see a lot when a filmmaker gets a light kit for the first time.
Yep.
And they're like, I have lights. I will shine them at my subjects.
Yeah.
And which is not what you want to do. I mean, we have these harsh shadows throughout everything in the apartment.
Which actually doesn't look too bad on the aesthetic side, and I think it's because they're using a camera that's capable of capturing such lighting.
That was one of the other things I noticed right away. It was,
Yeah.
This is a good camera.
Yeah, it's a pretty good camera.
This is a good camera.
This
Some of
is
the
a
low
C-
light stuff they shot was really nice.
This is a C100, right?
Yeah.
That's what we said. Yeah, C100. Yeah, that's a great camera. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So good camera, pretty good direction, and overall a pretty interesting movie.
Yeah.
I wish it had an ending.
Yeah, that was my biggest little complaint too. I definitely was surprised at how gripped I was through the whole movie.
Yeah.
Me too. Me too.
Like I was actually there's a moment when like the twist was happening, or I was like, oh, this is a mystery. This film is a mystery film, and I don't think we've ever gotten a film that was like an outright like mystery drama kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah.
But the ending didn't quite work because, in my opinion, I felt like the ending only asks a very simple question. The ending asks, does he stay with the girl or does he go off on his own? It doesn't let you think about much else. And that's a question that, to be honest, I'm not really that interested about interpreting or
I'm more
choosing.
yeah.
you know?
I could rather know what's going on here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think if you are going to have a interpretive ending, then you need to give a lot more to interpret than what was given at the ending.
Yeah, it seemed like we came pretty slowly to this point, which was awesome. I thought the movie did a really good job of crawling up to this point, where we have this sudden like multi-dimensional layer to this. But then it becomes like another layer of this mystery, right?
Yeah.
It's like first was where's this girl, and then it's why is she here or how is she here? But then we never answer that, and it goes into a more personal kind of thing, which is awesome if the story was more about that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Kenny can explain it better than I can. You said the question that we wanted to have answered at the ending was something about him leaving his friends.
Yeah. What I said was that what this movie was more about than anything else was a guy who was losing everything that was important to him because of his obsession with this girl. And the payoff at the end had nothing to do with all that buildup. It had to do with, well, very little, actually.
See, if the movie instead had this crazy, instead of this crazy twist where she's like in the same building but not really, if it was instead she's just literally a girl somewhere else and he left to go be with her, that would be a pretty gripping ending.
Yeah.
Right? Because of everything that we learned about him.
Yeah.
It would say a lot about his character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he sacrificed his best friend.
Yeah.
He lost his job, sounded like, or near to it.
Right.
That reminds me of Mark Battle's movie, The Guard.
Excellent movie.
Oh, yeah. That was a good movie.
Where it's about a character going to extreme lengths for a purpose and taking that to the very end of its absolute limits. And it's not a particularly happy thing, but it's an interesting conclusion that makes sense to the character. I felt like this film particularly would have helped, would have been made better with something like that, a more definitive, darker ending that fit the character.
I certainly did not see a supernatural twist coming at all.
Right.
I didn't either. That threw me through a loop.
It really caught me off guard.
That's another thing that I think short films mainly have a hard time with. Actually, no. Okay, this is just hard in every storytelling device. But foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Using it effectively, which means hinting that supernatural can exist within this kind of world. We never got any kind of hint in the beginning that this kind of world can exist. So when it came that she is like again in this separate dimension, it kind of just came out of left field.
Right. And we had they had done a very good job in getting us invested in a different story.
Yeah. You know? Which was interesting because when you have a story that's really strong in the why, it doesn't really matter how, and if we're really attached with him, then we start to forget about her and start to forget about why, how she is where she is and all that. And I think had we followed his decision all the way through, we would have, gone more into the story that way. I drifted too far from my original point.
Okay. I found this footage of her in her other dimension or wherever she is to be a little confusing. Her performance, especially, here we are.
She's like a devil.
I was like, I can't quite understand.
Is
she some desperate thing who needs him, or is she evil? Because she has this smirk sort of thing she does later on. Where
I definitely got the vibe that she's luring him, but I'm not sure why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also do this thing at that end where they cut back and forth, where they did the dip to white, really small dip to whites.
Yeah.
That made it feel like, that they were conversing, but it was like a flashback.
Oh, yeah.
I got the feeling that
it was a little disorienting.
Yeah, something was happening from the past.
I think maybe that's because of our repeated kind of experience with that kind of transition.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But that matters.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Context and everything.
Yeah. And it's not just that one little thing also.
Right.
It's like
the fact that this is black and white also.
Voice, the black and white,
Yeah.
And it wasn't black and white the first time we saw her.
Yeah.
That's also weird.
It wasn't in black and white?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
No.
Did we see her on the couch in color?
She sits on the couch and starts texting him in color.
Oh, yeah, right there.
Yeah, and then she's talking in color. Because they didn't want to give away that she's in another place.
That's interesting.
I
see, now if it was in black and white, I think that would have been good foreshadowing.
Yeah, and because it wouldn't have given anything away, and it would have been super mysterious.
Yeah.
It would have been really like, why is this happening? And then it would have been
Right.
a cool payoff at the end.
And then, and then when we learned that she's in a new dimension, then it's just it's still out of left field, but it's a little less.
Yeah.
So they raised the biggest questions at the very end of the movie and didn't answer any of them.
Right.
And that's what is leaving us with a bitter taste in our mouth after what was a pretty sweet movie.
Yeah.
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 Quite
Yeah.
good, actually. I don't know if...
set up for one thing, pay off for another.
Yeah.
Kind
That's
of.
what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can think of another movie that quite... Like... I don't know. It was an engaging watch.
It was engaging.
You know, I was invested. Oh, this is what I liked about it.
Yeah.
The main character was not a particularly likable person. Like he was like kind of a dick to his friends who were helping him move in,
And
he
he was a
like
bit
always
creepy, too.
Yeah, a little creepy, a little bit desperate, kind of over the top. And I liked that about. Like, I like that they made the choice for their main character to be a flawed, like, individual.
Yeah.
Rather than just, like, this
I usually
cool, good guy.
appreciate that
Yeah.
choice.
I like that a lot, too.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot what I was going to say.
There was a lot of camera work here that was unmotivated and distracting.
Yeah.
Really,
Some odd choices.
again, overuse of slider shots, which is
Yeah.
something we just talked about in the last film we covered. But I mean, there's the long sequence of him sitting in that rocking chair where we dip behind that pillar and back out so many times that it begins to feel like we're like playing hide and seek with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
right
great.
here.
Yeah, the
Hey, baby.
I think a lot of the shots, I think they had great coverage. You know, some of the shots were a little odd, and this kind of transition, I think, was okay. There was a little hiccup there that
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
you know it's
We've all been there.
we've all been there because we've all
The
done it.
slider
Yeah.
sticks.
Yeah,
Well, it happens in at least one take.
yeah. So here's your right there.
Eh.
There.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it always happens in like one take, and you got to do it over.
Yeah.
Got to do it again. That's a great
Yep,
transition.
that was
but,
cool. Cool transition.
But
And then it was a little too cool, and they did like
yeah,
4
still
more
failing to
times.
see like the point of it.
Yeah.
You know.
You know what it made me feel like? It
Yeah.
made me feel like they were breaking the 180, like in an intentional way. Like, you know how when a movie breaks the 180?
How it drifts the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it made me feel.
It did
seeing
make
that.
me feel that way too, but I don't know, not entirely.
When we were watching this the first time through, I felt like there was some big significance of this puzzle.
I did too.
The way
So
they
did I.
shot
And
the,
the dragons,
puzzle
too.
felt
Yeah.
really significant.
Yeah.
But that
was just
didn't pay off.
Pure
either.
recreation.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it
That
felt,
was it. I didn't even think about that.
felt
yeah.
like solving that puzzle had some serious meaning.
Yeah. I thought the bag was too when he came in. I thought he was gonna like unload a dinner for both him and Desiree.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna literally have dinner with the picture.
Just be a her-like movie
Yeah.
where he has a full relationship with someone who's not real.
Right. That's what I thought it was gonna be in the beginning.
That's a good idea. Let's
Um,
make that movie.
And
We should do that.
This guy is a great actor.
Yeah, I thought he
Yeah,
did
I
a
thought
good
he was
job.
good.
His
Yeah.
performance
good
was
job.
great.
He actually outshined most of the people around him.
Yeah, which is good if he's the main character. Unlike
Yeah,
Tim Cox.
Tim and everything he's in.
Yeah, because Tim outshines everyone else.
Maybe
and-
he shouldn't be a character actor.
Yeah, maybe he should be a leading man.
So I want to point out something specifically about this guy's performance. There's a lot of really good subtlety, but there's one part, I think it was here. Oh, it was when she says creep. So we say creep and then reaction shot. And it just feels so genuine right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
No
There-
doubt.
There's none of this.
And by the way, my respect for this film quadrupled in the next scene.
Oh, yeah.
We jump to this other
A new
location.
Yeah.
And it's like a freaking real
Yeah.
publishing,
printing press.
newspaper press. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
this actually looks good. This
Yeah.
is really good.
That was really cool.
That was cool. I was surprised by that.
I think it's because everything had taken place in that one room.
Yeah.
And because we're so used to short films always being in one room, it kind of took us by surprise when it switched locations suddenly.
This guy weirded me out a little bit because of like he hears a text message go off and then he bickers about it. But I don't know. It doesn't seem
to
realistic.
me it just sounded like he'd been going on and on about this girl for a long time.
Yeah.
So he's already heard a ton of it, you know.
I don't know. Something about it didn't sit right with me. It didn't feel real.
There's also some weird camera work here. We're sliding away from the guy who's talking.
Yeah.
And showing his cubicle, and I get what you guys are doing here, but it feels weird. His framing is a bit weird. Like he has no headroom.
There was a lot of shots with no headroom. For a long time, I thought this guy was like 7 feet tall because of how he was shot from a lot of low angles and almost no headroom in any of them. And what is up with this ancient Mac?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I thought that was kind of clever. I don't know if it's on purpose, but like I feel like places like these always have really old ass computers that have not that haven't switched
maybe so
technology. I kind of dug that. Yeah. There's a lot of really good things in here, and I don't like that the story just didn't quite work out.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating. Just at the end, just doesn't quite make it.
Yeah. And I know because, we've already talked about this in the beginning, but I just want to say it's because there's a lot of times when filmmakers will say, I intentionally left the ending ambiguous. And there's a way to properly do that, and we've talked about that. And I don't want to say the word properly because that says something objective, but that's not what I mean. There's a way to do it.
There's a right way.
That complements the rest of your film. You know,
there's a completely correct objective way.
There's an objectively correct way, and this was wrong.
Yeah, that's what I can get behind. That's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
Again, we set up for one thing and paid off with another thing.
Yeah.
And it should have been. They should have met.
Yeah. For me, when a movie has an interpretive ending, I want to be given a lot to interpret.
Yeah.
And I really didn't feel like there was much for me to interpret.
The thing is, if he chose to go with her or chose not to, that wouldn't have said anything about what happened in the story.
Right.
You know?
So, you know how I'm always trying to guess where the movie's going ahead of time?
Sure.
And so
it's one of your many
curses that I deal with. And so what I had come to was, it'd be cool is if he's being catfished,
That's what I was thinking
and
too.
This girl's somehow... Now, it turns out he was being catfished, but by a ghost or something.
Right.
Which it just rose too many new questions at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way that it took place, the way she was in the same room and everything, made me really think like this was, like a plane with the fourth dimension where they have, and everyone can someone in the fourth dimension can stay in the same space, but take up a different time period or something like that.
Sure, The Lake House.
The Lake House.
Great romantic movie, chick flick with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. It's not really a great movie.
Is it about the fourth dimension?
It kind of is. They occupy the same house but 10 years apart, and they're able to write letters to each other using the common mailbox.
There you go.
And they end up finding a time in between where they're able to finally set up a situation to meet.
Beautiful.
That sounds awesome.
That's beautiful.
It's a very clever movie. It's very sappy.
Yeah.
Sort of Hallmarky, but that's what this reminded me of, actually. It's The Lake House. Should we ask questions to the filmmaker?
Sure.
This is the portion of the show where we ask questions to the filmmaker. For all you viewers in YouTube land, please comment and add your questions to ours. If there's anything that we've missed here, our filmmakers are usually really good about getting back and answering all those questions, and it's a lot of fun. So that being said, let's ask some questions.
Ask some questions. I go first.
Go.
Who am I asking? I'm asking the name that I couldn't pronounce. So
the
he's the
submitter.
director.
I'm going to ask the director or the writer. Okay, I'm going to ask the filmmaker.
Whoever will answer us, whoever's watching this and can type.
To whom it may concern.
Yes.
Yes.
How long did this take you to film? Because it looks, and I mean this in the best way, it looks low budget, right? It looks like you had a camera with you and you just said, hey, let's start shooting something. But there's multiple locations, there's multiple setups, there's a ton of decoration. There's a lot of things that you did here. So I'm wondering...
There's work involved.
There's definitely work involved.
Yes.
So I'd like to know what that was all about.
You're forgetting about the $200,000 they spent to build that newspaper company set.
Right. Actually, I
That was
kind
a
of
very believable set.
I kind
Yeah,
of thought
very
this
well
set, the apartment, I thought at first it was fake. This whole thing. At first.
There's that shot that makes him look 8 feet tall.
Because it had a pillar in the middle. But I'm realizing that there are other cities that are not like the one that we're in, and they have apartments that have pillars in them. So,
Is that true?
and no, I just made that up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are we in a city anymore?
No.
No, I don't think so.
I have not found a pillar in here.
In the void?
In the void, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never found a
That's
pillar.
my biggest complaint about this place. Nothing to lean on. Like, I just want to lean on something.
Exactly, yeah.
There's nothing.
It's either sit or stand.
That's probably the
There's no
most
in between.
torturous thing. Yeah. I just want to lean. Okay. It's your turn.
Okay.
How long did it take you to write this film? Because it seems pretty intricate in its writing. You know, mysteries are always kind of tricky to write. And yeah.
Tell me the story of getting that cool newspaper location. Also, is this casted with a group of filmmaking or arts buddies, or did you actually do like a casting call or use a casting agent to get your people? Also, what inspired you to make this movie, and what are your filmmaking influences?
Oh, I love that question.
Right?
It's a good question.
I
I always
know.
like that one.
Yeah.
Hey, you should join Film Alchemist. It's a Facebook page that we have where you can come in and join us and the other filmmakers who have been on the show as we discuss in-depth philosophical ideas behind filmmaking and what makes films work or not work. And it's a lot of fun.
It's kind of a recovery group
Yeah.
for filmmakers.
Recovered.
Yeah, we can all sort of support each other through our rehabilitation of, healing from the aftermath of making movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Making movies is hard, but not with Film Alchemists.
Not with Film Alchemists.
Yeah.
We take the hard out of movies.
Yeah. We take the hard work, passion, dedication, reward out of filmmaking.
We
Yeah.
take that out of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
whole process.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So join us. Link in the description.
You'll love it.
Yeah.
Really.
Payman sometimes makes an appearance there.
Yeah. Payman, who cursed us to be here,
Yeah.
found his way into the Facebook group. It's annoying.
Yeah.
We could totally use more people to criticize Payman and try to get him to stay out of our
Yeah,
ears.
he posted
It's
his film there, and I can't delete it.
It's a
No.
terrible film.
We talked about that film.
Yeah. E pluribus unum.
Yeah, it won worst film, 2018.
2018, we gave it worst film
Yeah.
of the year.
We all good here, you guys?
So, team behind I Am Here, thank you for sending us this movie.
Absolutely, and send us more,
Please,
Yeah, do that.
more movies.
We
Yeah.
always need more movies.
and get your other film persons to send us.
Tell all your
So-
friends.
do that. Do that.
Yeah.
We can do this all day.
There's
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
There's nothing else we do.
No,
We generally do this all day,
This is what we do all day.
except for when we don't.
Wait, why are we late sometimes on videos?
Lazy.
What day is it?
Doesn't matter.
Is the sun up?
Doesn't matter.
Is there sun?
Doesn't matter.
Is there mind? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Are
Is
we?
there matter?
Are we?
Doesn't
in-
matter.
Never mind.
Oh dang. Are we in the eye of a
Beholder?
Are we in the eye of the beholder right now?
That's beautiful. In the eye of the beholder.
I was going to try to say a Game of Thrones reference, but it's all good. I like that one better.